Okay, good evening, students. Can you hear me? Ladies and gentlemen in the class, can you hear me? There's just two gentlemen in the class, so finally the message that the class is going to start today at 9 o'clock is not perceived by everybody. Mr. Nuristani, Mr. Mahfouz, can you hear me? Okay. I see two gentlemen in the class. Mr. Nuristani, can you hear me? Mr. Nuristani? Hello? Mr. Nuristani? I cannot hear your voice at all. So, hello? Okay, so what is the problem, Mr. Nuristani? Can you hear me? Apparently, you are the only one in the class. Plus, Mr. Mahfouz. Mr. Mahfouz, Mr. Mahfouz, can you hear me? Okay, Mr. Nuristani, so let's start the class. Chapter 5, Marketing Knowledge. Okay, this chapter will be more or less about how different companies over internet marketing can collect the information that they need for approaching their customers. These are the objectives as usual. After reading chapter 5, you will be able to answer these questions. First of all, the three main sources of data that e-marketers use to address research problems. Discuss how and why e-marketers need to check the quality of research data gathered online. Explain why the internet is used as a contact method for primary research, and describe the main internet-based approaches to primary research. So basically today we are going to discuss about main type of research, primary as well as secondary. Contrast client side, server side, and real space approaches to data collection will be discussed. The different methods of data collection over the internet will be discussed today in detail, and we'll highlight 4 important methods of analysis that e-marketers can apply to data warehouse information. So as usual, we are going to start our discussion by having one basically case study. This Purina Story. Nestle Purina Pet Care company wanted to know whether their website and online advertising increased offline behavior or not. So they wanted to see how effective their website is, because you know, they used to be a brick and mortar company, but they started being and basically click and mortar, and so they wanted to see the investment that they had in basically online website, how it's gonna contribute basically to what we call it offline behavior, or perform. I mean, how many sales they're gonna get out of that. Nestle developed 3 research questions. These are the questions that Nestle asked and then try to answer them, and then by them, most probably they could be able to find out what would be the best way of bringing offline customer, and stimulating that. Are our buyers using our branded website? This is the first question. any of our basically buyers that they are coming to internet, are they actually using their website, or still they are coming to offline outlet that we have? Should we invest in other websites? Okay, they wanted to see if they need to use other intermediary website to be able to again market their product. And the last one, if so, where should we place the advertisement? So if they want to do advertisement, which type of website will be the right website for them? For example, they have to go to search engine. Do they need to use certain advertising or marketing website? What exactly are the website that they have to use? Purina Story, they continue with that. They combine online and offline shopping panel data and found that basically they had like their own traditional database, which was based on offline purchase of the customer. Whoever was coming to the website to get the information, to their normal stores to buy their items, as well as people that they were actually purchasing or visiting the website online. So they found this information actually after that. Banner click-through was low, 0.06% of people that they are coming online, they just go through banner. Any click-through banner, you see all of these online banners that you can click through, and then you will go and go to the website directly. So they are kind of hyperlinked to the website. 31% of subjects who were exposed to both online and offline advertising mentioned Purina. This is almost in it was nice that the people that basically they got to know there is an online or offline advertising of Purina, they actually endorsed that fact. The high exposure group mentioned Purina more than the low exposure group. Here we are talking about people that they are constantly working online and they're using website or surfing internet. So there are people that they have access to internet as well and doing it online. These are high exposure people, and they had more than those low exposure ones. Home, health, and living sites received the most visits from their customer. So they found out that their customers that usually have these pets and they are interested in their website and their product, they are visiting home furniture or anything, home appliances or anything like that. And you want to create a house from furniture to renovation, all of those things. Health, which is again other websites that they are giving you information and which is providing products for this health supplements and all of those things. And living website, anything related to lifestyle and living appliances or anything complementary to that. So that makes sense, kind of. Those people that they have usually pets, they usually pay attention to the home environment, how they want it to be, basically because of their special needs that pets actually create for them. They will have basically other important basic priority as well. So that would be another aspect of that. So these are the most common outcomes that they got out of this basically search that they've done from their offline and online database. And the question is here this: would you also have selected PetSmart.com or About.com for Purina Pet Care ads? It's like the question was like that, that they could ask from their customers or even themselves, that if your other website, like this website, like PetSmart.com or About.com, that they are about the pet care and everything, would they be an influential factor in any of these Purina Pet Care? So as you can see, Purina Story was all about a company trying to get how offline or online database can contribute to better sales predict for future, as well as forecasting of what would be the possible type of marketing, as well as sales patterns, as well as demand and so on. So most of the companies try to create this database because they do believe this database can guarantee their success in future. Data drives a strategy. Okay, this is really important. Means based on inputs and information that we have, we can create right strategies that are effective, that it can help us to reach to the destination that we're looking for. So organizations are drowning in data. Nowadays, you see data is playing a significant role. That's why knowledge management, which is the name of the chapter today, is important. Like having all of this information and data, how you can manage them in a way that can create you basically a competitive advantage or give you a specific edge to be able to compete in the market and survive, and not only survive, reach profitability and so on. So marketing insight occurs somewhat between information and knowledge. This is really important. See, the whole marketing insights happen usually between this information and knowledge, how you transform information to knowledge and how you use them for the purpose of reaching your one of the main bottom lines, which is profitability, as well as other bottom lines of each company, which is social issues as well as environmental care. Purina, for example, sorts through hundreds of millions of pieces of data, about 21.5 million consumers, to make decisions. This is like significantly showing how big and huge the amount of data can be and how it can help us. You see, when you have the higher data you have, the better chances of coming up to conclusions that they are more generalizable as well as usable, because you can use this data as a strong foundation for your decision making and strategy making in future. You see, it shows, look at the information and data and corporate data during different years since 1999 to 2003. This is the information that we have. If definitely nowadays you want to look at it, it's going to be way more than this. But terabytes of corporate data, it shows how significant the data is increasing in the size of data, and then how significant the role is, and how different companies try to collect this information because they believe with this data they can guarantee their success in future. You cannot simply go and create a strategy out of nowhere. You have to have proper data to be able to do that. Look at this pyramid here. You have data as the basic platform of any pyramid. To go up, data is not basically it's raw, so you don't really have any specific meaning out of that, except you transform that to information. Means you have to do some analysis to be able to bring that data to something more understandable or meaningful. After that information, if it's going to be confirmed and repeated after doing surveys and so on, it can be transferred to knowledge. That is the next step, and the final stage will be a decision. So based on the knowledge that you have, basically you can make decisions, and this knowledge is based on the information that you interpreted from those data. Right beside that, on right side, you can see the Purina, what they've done. Basically, there were some information that Purina Puppy, for example, show on March 1, some information about that, and then how they could transform this to some information, like 20% more likely to visit abroad.com, the Purina buyers usually do that, and then also 36% of top owners who see Purina ads would buy the brand. This is like information that we could get out of this data, and then at the end, we created knowledge out of that, which is a survey result out of those information that we have. Dog owners who see ads online are likely to buy Purina and Purina 1. We know the sites they visited, about.com, www.postsmart.com, and all of those things. And at the end, you can create a significant decision out of those information. Let's put a banner ad on about.com. So this is how you decided to create this banner and pay for that banner, because you believe your buyers are gonna go through websites and there is a high chance of purchasing your product. I can see some issues here, some basically comments here. Mr. Said, unrecognized from information is what? Unorganized form of, yes, information is data. or the information, the data which is not interpreted yet, it's not analyzed yet, it's raw data, and then once you start analyzing it, organizing it as you put it, then it can be information. When we organize that data, it's called, yes, exactly. This is how the data is going to be transformed to information. So marketing knowledge management, you see, when you have all of this data and the information that you can interpret, the next step, as you could see in that pyramid, was the knowledge. Knowledge is going to be there based on solid evidence coming from your statistical surveys and so on. So marketing knowledge management, which is related to the marketing data which were actually interpreted and organized to information, and finally became knowledge that we are going to use them for our marketing purposes. Knowledge management is the process of managing the creation, use, and dissemination of knowledge. This is the basic definition of the knowledge management. You see, managing, creation, dissemination of knowledge. Example of the uses of knowledge management can be found in Exhibit 6.4. That you don't have it here. I don't. Let me check if 6.4 is here. Unfortunately, this it's in white, and you won't be able to see it. If like you click on the original website, original PowerPoint slide, maybe you will be able to basically, I try to use the original website PowerPoint slide and change the color and paste it for you in the chat box, if you allow me. So yeah, this is the original. I just a moment. The information is like a you see, okay, because it's like a shape or table. If you can try it, you can anybody in the class who is interested can use the original PowerPoint slide and do some amendment and bring the information in the chat box, and everybody can see it. Unfortunately, the original website, the PowerPoint slide that we had doesn't have, but this example can show how different companies can. I can look at that and explain for you some. For example, a scanner checkout data analysis. AT&T usually use this data analysis to be able to get a better trace of, for example, the customer. You have other, for example, we have British Telecom that use the customer profitability analysis, okay, the information and so on. That use it. Walmart, a scanner checkout data analysis is again another way of using Walmart using in retailing industry. And or another example, Amazon.com product selection for market. So based on the information that they have, they can see what product and how it's going to be preferred by customers, so they can maneuver on that point. So as you can see, all of the companies, they don't simply gather this or collect this information just for sake of having them. They have to be able to use them. So and then again, data by itself is not going to be meaningful. You have to change the data, transform the data, try to find a meaning, organize those data to something meaningful. That meaningful thing will be information. But again, information is not something reliable. You need to have that information as a reliable and valid data. So how you can do it, you have to do extra processes, extra statistical analysis to be able to create a knowledge hypothesis and theory that can help you to decide later on for your company. The marketing information system is one of those information systems that is common in any organization. Again, it's like management information system, MIS. Marketing information system is another system that can really help us, specifically about marketing issues. Marketers manage knowledge through a marketing information system, MIS. So there are different companies, different marketing practitioners that they're trying to derive the data as much as possible from the normal visits of the customer to repetitive, basically, purchase and so on, and try to use those information to be able to design their most common strategic marketing tools, which is 4 Ps. So based on those information, they can find out what is the right P. For example, product, what is the right price, what is the right promotion, what is the right place, and how these things have to vary if you have different type of customers. How you can do it based on having the proper database system or information system. Many firms store data in databases and data warehouses. This is one of the most common basically practices nowadays. The internet and other technologies have facilitated data collection. You see, over the internet, you can simply sign up. The website that is going to give you any service can simply make you or kind of guide you to go and sign up and basically give your information there. So when you are signing up, actually you are making the company basically you authorize the company to be able to use your information, or you're just giving your information that the companies can use it later on. So then you have to pay attention to the terms and conditions. Sometimes company, when you apply, they ask you whether you want this information to be used by other parties. So you can detect sometimes customers, they don't really pay attention and just click yes, 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 and this information can be used by other parties. So usually primary data or the information that you collect to be able to use them in different occasions is primary data. It means you do them for the purpose of your research, for the purpose of your objective and whatever you have in your mind. Sometimes you have some type of information that becomes type of data that becomes secondary data. These are the information about competitors, consumers, or economic environment that is not done by you. They are available in the market. For example, other NGOs or government or other parties have provided them. Whether they charge you or they are free, you can access to them, and they were basically collected for general purposes. So if you think that they can be helpful, you can use them as well. For example, the inflation rate or unemployment rate or the literacy rate or the different age percentage, age range percentage in the society or the country that you're living. All this information can be generated by governmental organizations, and you can just use them for your own purposes. Definitely, this secondary data has a significant impact on most of the marketing information systems and researchers, simply because it makes it very easy for companies to be able to access those information and use them. Marketers use the net and other technologies to collect primary data about consumers. This is really, really common. Primary data is when you do it all by yourself. This is the difference between primary data is done for sake of your research, while secondary data has been collected before by other organizations for general or generic purposes. Okay, so this is the difference. Source of data, internal records. One of the ways that you can collect your data is your internal records. Accounting, finance, production, marketing, personnel. All of them can help you to collect and analyze data, because you have some basically information and data in your accounting, you have some financial accounting, all of them can contribute. So this is how inside the organization you can collect some data. Non-marketing data such as sales and advertising, spending, sales force data, they are all going to be basically different type of data that you can collect. And consumer characteristic and behavior, there are different things. For example, how you can collect them. If you have any online survey, sometimes you can ask your customers to, while they are basically purchasing anything or visiting your website, going for a volunteer, or sometimes compulsory basically survey that will enable them to go to the next level. So with this information, you can come up with some characteristics, predictions, as well as behavior, and you can basically collect all of this information. Universal product code is one of those facilitators. When you have this system, you can have a better tracking system. You see, as you know, each product has its own universal product code, and that definitely gives a better, easier way for marketers or companies to be able to track different products and so on. Tracking of user movements through web pages is also possible by having the information, sometimes IP, sometimes other information that can be helpful for you to be able to do that. Secondary data, the type of data that I already explained, let's explain them more in detail. Can be controlled more quickly and less expensively than primary data, simply because you don't collect them by yourself. There are other organizations that you're doing this, and it's quick because they're available, so you don't really need to spend time to get them. That's primary data. Secondary data may not meet e-marketers' information needs. The reason is because this secondary data, as I told you, they're very general and generic. So they may not be able to satisfy your need as a marketer or e-marketer. So this is one of the problems. Data were gathered from a different purpose. This is one of the reasons why these data are not going to be really helpful. Quality of secondary data may be unknown as well. Sometimes you don't really, sometimes not all of these the secondary data are going to be collected or gathered by reputable organizations or governmental organizations. Sometimes you just have them, they are available over the internet or other sources, but you don't know the authenticity of the information, so that can be another problem. Data may be old as well. This is another basically another aspect of the whole secondary data. You see, for example, you don't want to have some information or some data that they were collected a long time ago, because you see the information that they are old, they not be maybe valid or reliable now, because they were collected a long time ago and you cannot really monitor them. Marketers continually gather that business intelligence by scanning the macro environment. You see, this is one of the ways that marketers can make sure that the information that they have, they are actually up to date and they are relevant, by making sure that all of the components in environment, they're gonna be basically there, and they are looking at that from competitor point of view, supplier point of view, economical, socio-economical, psychographic, demographic, and all of those things can be part of this as well. Ms. Lida is saying that Salesforce data. Can you explain your question one more time and in clear way, then I can answer it? What do you mean? What is Salesforce data? Okay, if your question is all just about what is Salesforce data, what is the meaning? Oh, okay. Okay, Salesforce data, we are talking about the typical information that you can get over your sale. Now, whenever you sell the product, whether online or offline, usually you have to track of what product was sold, who bought it, if the product was purchased and the customer used member card and so on. All of those things can be used later on for you to be able to basically use them in future. For example, you see, based on your information that you have in January 2013, you had different items sold and you are a retailer. Based on the code of items and the number of purchase and all of those things, you can predict what will be the right amount of the inventory for the next, for example, month, which is, for example, February 2013. And so this is how Salesforce data is going to be used. Okay, I hope that I could answer your question. So public and private data sources as well. You see, we already talked about different type of data source, which we said primary data. We talk about secondary data as well. But let's look at another categorization of data sources, which is public and private. Publicly generated data that I told you before, usually by government or specifically about US, you can see, because these books, all of these books are about American usually system. So as you can see, publicly generated data in United States of America by itself means US Patent Office or American Marketing Association. So AMA or US Patent Office, if they are coming up with any type of data, that will be a publicly generated data. But Privately generated data will be other companies or other independent private part that you're coming. Specifically in US, Forrester Research and Nielsen and Net Rating are these type of, for example, website that they do. There are others as well that they're generating data as well, and you can sometimes purchase them. Sometimes they are available, as I told you, freely. As far as you have a certain status, you can use them. It depends. Some of the companies, their job is just collecting information and sell those information. You see what happened actually to Facebook around 2-3 years ago, or even before that, around 5-6 years ago, was this. Facebook was getting all of this free information through users, and actually it was selling it, or by any chance there was a contract behind the screen, and these marketing companies could use this information. And it was one of the hugest scandals that Facebook was facing, and previously we were discussing, specifically in last chapter. Online databases are also there. There are so many different online databases that you can use their information, but some of them are reliable, some of them not really. So you have to make sure the information that you use is reliable, because any data that you use, they are the base of your information. And so your information will be generated from the data if your data is not right data or correct data, your information will be not a correct information, and at the end of the day, your knowledge, which is the explanation of that information, is not going to be all right as well. So you see, and then the decisions that you're going to make as well at the end won't be right, simply because at the beginning the data wasn't the right data. So primary data, again, specifically, let's talk about primary data in detail. Two electronic sources of primary data collections. One of the most common one is internet when it comes to electronic marketing, and real estate. Okay, and primary data collections on the net can be through experiments. You see, you can have different type of experiments, and basically how these experiments are gonna work. You see, we can, for example, we can create a experiment through basically, for example, a survey. You can ask your customers to come in and basically help you to fill up a certain type of questionnaire. That type of experiments can be, you can create those type of experiments simply by sometimes questionnaires, sometimes by having interviews, sometimes by asking the customer to go through certain things to be able to basically get the information that you need to have. Okay, so this is one of the most common ways of doing that. Focus group, you can create a certain group, ask them to do certain type of things, and then see what will be the results of any impact on them. In-depth interview, sometimes you can choose certain type of customers or elite or expert, subject matter expert, to be able to get the right feedback from them. For example, those professional experts in marketing or in a specific field that you're doing your job. Survey research can be through a questionnaire, can be through online questionnaire, can be through monthly research. All of those things are different. Primary data is actually the most common way of collecting data through the internet. Real estate data collection refers to technology-enabled gathering of information offline. So you see the last part that I can see Mr. Mustafa Ghafar was asking, what is real estate? Yeah, exactly. I can see the last part of this slide have your the information that you're looking for. Real estate data collection refers to technology-enabled gathering of information offline. So it can be through encyclopedias, it can be through some websites, it can be through some books, it can be through some organizations that they provide it. Anyway, information can be collected through online or offline, basically, sources. Look at here, friends using online primary research. Portion using that you're using online survey is the most common one, as you can see here. almost 80% they use this, but it doesn't mean that they are not using others as well. 80% they usually use this, but they may have others. That's why you can see when it's 80% online survey, still we can have 50% email survey, because there are some that using online survey as well as email, as well as it's not like if you use online survey you cannot use email survey. So that's why you can see if the sum of all of these categories, then we go beyond 100%, because as a company you can have the combination of all. So you see online survey is the most common one with the almost near 90%. Email survey by sending email, ask them to contribute is the next one. Online focus group, as I told you, create a group and study them by giving them some certain input, study them and see what are the results. In this focus group, you can create experimental group as well as control group to be able to see the differences. Bulletin board focus group, this is another type of focus group, but it's less, and then the type that you're going to do it is different a little bit. Website use measures, also they are common. Nowadays, these website use measures are going to be more basically common, as far as most of the websites try to have a very standard form of categorizing the data, the standard form of signing up. So they're going to have a huge information there. You don't really need to go for extra online survey to be able to get the information that you want. Simply by asking you and to sign up and tracking your orders and your basically history of searching and so on, as well as the number of frequency of your visits, the number of times that you purchase from their website or their competitor website, your other demographic or information that you may have, like your education level, your sex, your age, and all of those things. They can create a significant information that can help them to later on create knowledge as well as decide about what would be the right way of doing marketing in future. Primary research steps, usually you have to have a certain objective in your mind. Objective in research usually is the problem. You have to see what problem actually exists and what is the one that you are trying to fill. So what is the gap? Let's put it that way. Problem statement or gap of research is the first step in any primary research step. After knowing what is the problem and how you want to basically what would be the right way of solving that, or how you can contribute to that, which is the philosophy of existence of your research, you try to plan your research. So basically you have to say what type of approach you have. You want to do exploratory, you want to do explanatory. There are different approaches, inductive, deductive. What type of sample design you want to have. This is by itself a huge discussion. This is research methodology. You see, most of the researches that are going to be done, they go through all of this. What are the different research approaches? Inductive, deductive, exploratory, quantitative, qualitative, basically different research paradigms. You know, they're going to positivism. All of those things are going to be there. Sample design, what type of sampling you want to have, how many samples do you need, sample procedures and everything has to be explained. This is part of the plan. Contact method, how you want to do your survey. Is it going to be through questionnaire? Is it going to be through interview, other experiments, basic observation, mall observation, mall intercept. There's so many different techniques, okay? And instrument design, what type of instrument you want to know, or research tools. What are the research tools that you want to use? For example, MER survey is one of the most common ones. You saw other tools just now before this. And right after having the research plan or research methodology perfectly done, which is more or less your already have done half of your research, you have to be able to collect the data or data collection. So after knowing what is the problem, how you want to basically, what are the basic tools and research plan, you have to collect the information for data, which is the next step. And after that, data analysis means the data that you collected has to be analyzed. It has to be done through a statistical method. And different statistical method is going to be for different type of data. For example, If you have parametric data, you have to use certain type of parametric statistical method. If you have non-parametric data, you have to use non-parametric statistical method. So you have to, there are so many different techniques from factor analysis to regression to ANOVA, MANOVA, MANCOVA, and all of those they're going to be used for example, quantitative. We have binomial test, or we have other attitude measurement, or all of those for non-parametric data and so on. Distribution of findings as well, which is how you want to generalize the information that you found in data analysis. Mr. Nuristani is asking, I have a question. So, okay, what is your question, Mr. Nuristani?
Good evening, sir. Are you hearing me, sir?
Mr. Nuristani, I can enable you to talk just a moment. Yes, Mr. Nuristani, yes?
Sir, in research plan, sir, yes. Are you hearing me, sir?
I cannot hear you, Mr. Nuristani. I don't know whether if the rest can hear you. Okay, again, maybe there's something wrong with my system, but unfortunately, I'm not able to hear you. So let me enable you one more time. So Nuristani, can you talk now?
Yes, sir. Are you hearing me now, sir? Hello?
Mr. Nuristani. Mr. Nuristani. Unfortunately, I cannot hear you, Mr. Nuristani. I don't know what is wrong. Again, I think, okay, let me unmute you. I have done already. I can constantly unmute you, but it goes again on mute. I don't know what.
Are you hearing me, sir? Yes, sir. Are you hearing me right now, sir?
I don't know what is wrong. I cannot hear you at all. So can you write down your question then, Mr. Nuristani?
Okay, sir. I will write down the question.
Unfortunately, I don't know what is wrong that I cannot hear Mr. Nuristani. Maybe there's some. Okay. I think I know what is wrong. What was wrong? Can you one more time? I've done something. Maybe now it's gonna work. Can you talk now? Now I can hear you talk. Yes.
Now you are hearing me, sir.
Perfect. Now yes.
Yes. Okay, sir. I have a. Sir, could you go to chapter to slide, sir? Because I'm not able. Yes. Yeah, this one, sir. Sir, you have said that in research approach we use questionnaires and quantitative method. But as far as I know that those are the tools that we use while doing a research.
No. I said that one for instrument design. Then we wanna use research tool. No. Research approach usually is all about maybe that one was maybe when I was explaining mistakenly was said. No. Research approach is all about what type of approach you have in your research. Is it exploratory? Is it explanatory? Is it inductive? Is it deductive? What type of paradigm you have? Okay, are you gonna go from basic, for example, you want to collect information, create theory, or you want to apply a theory on different occasions? That is research approach. Okay.
So what's the sample design, sir?
Sample design is about what type of sample procedure you have. This is by itself can be the number of samples that you want to get, what type of sampling method you want to use, okay, and all of those things.
Okay, like distributing our questionnaires and we do sampling like in a specific area, like that one, sir?
You see, questionnaire is under the instrument design. What type of
it's still sample design is not clear for me, sir.
No,
like some people do research based on sampling, sir. Like they just identify a group of people or certain people, and they distribute their questionnaires, and they take out their result answers, and through those results, they elaborate their findings, sir. Like that is called sampling, sir. So what do you mean the sample design, sir? It's different from the sampling, right?
Okay, what you just said was the whole research. You see, each of these stages that you were talking about has its own name. The sample design is just the part that you find out of the whole population that you have. First of all, what is the right number to choose? What type of sampling strategy you have to have. For example, you have to go for normal random sampling. You have to go for stratified sampling. You have to go for persuasive sampling. You have to go for judgment sampling. You have to go for cluster sampling. Any type of sampling, okay? And then after knowing that, how you have to do it. Basically, for example, if you have a type of research which is going to be conducted, and the way that you want to do it is about attitude measurement. Means you need certain type of elite or expert to be able to answer that. So you have to go to experts and use, for example, 30 of them. That is enough. But sometimes you want to say, for example, real customers. Okay, what is their, for example, reaction to certain product or certain issue and so on. Then the number of sample has to be different. The type of sampling has to be different. Okay, your population is different. Okay, all of these issues about what is your population, what is the right number of sampling, what sample has to be chosen, what is the method of sampling, and all of those things is sample design. Okay, but then after that, after doing that, then you have to find out what are the basically tools to collect the information. You can use survey method, mail survey. You can use all of those things that we just explained here through the website, for example, online focus group, all of those things. And then again, on the other side, we have instrument design. These two, they have overlap as well, because when we say, well, what is the method and what is the design? For example, we say the method is survey, mail survey, and the instrument design is questionnaire. Questionnaire is how you get that mail survey to be done. So you can send through the traditional way mail. Nowadays they send it through online, for example, email. It can be through anything like that. Okay. So up to now, this is all about what is your method, what is your what is your sampling method, and what is your instrument, and what is your instrument design. After that, you will decide about your statistical method, which is like, okay, what about the information that I'm collecting? Just imagine you are collecting sales information. Sales information are real data. So real data means they are parametric. Okay. When they are parametric, means you have to use parametric statistical method for them. Means like regressions and all of those things. Okay. But just imagine you are collecting information and they are not parametric. Like what? Liquid state. Liquid state is not parametric because in liquid state you are giving ranks. All right. You say, for example, what is your opinion about this? You can say, do you like this? You can say, I agree, I totally agree, I disagree, I'm neutral, or anything like that. For example, 5 different options. So you are giving different 5 ranks, okay? They are not real data. So this type of data you have to change to different type of statistical method, okay? That is about data analysis, which is different part of research methodology, okay? So what your example was all about was all of these things. You can each of these stages that we have has its own meaning, has its own procedure, and its own details. Do you understand, Mr. Nurstani?
Yes, sir. But one thing, sir, in research problem, we never do we can do research not only for problems, sir, but we can do it for comparison as well, sir. Like baseline survey. For comparison as well, sir. Like we do research.
So why you do comparison?
In order to find out our deficiencies.
So what like is deficiency means problem?
Okay, sir.
So you see, there should not be any research without having any problem. All right. So you do research, you don't do it for sake of God. All right. You do any research just because there is a reason behind that. Whether you want to do benchmarking, whether you want to see why your competitors are doing better than you want to do comparison study. For example, if you had a good sale before, and now for any reason your sale decreased, what are the reasons? So this is a problem. You want to find solutions for that problem. That's how you do any research. So marketing research is one of these basically components of the typical general research. Definitely there is a problem that we want to solve. Sometimes there is no problem. We just want to avoid any arising problem. That's why we do basically proactive research. For example, Samsung now is doing very well in comparison with iPhone, all right? When they are coming out with their cell phones. But they cannot take it for granted. If they just want to say, now our cell is this good, so we're going to be like this forever. No. They can have another research or other researches to be done to be able to see what are other, for example, aspects that they can improve in, or different area that they can do improvement in that, and then get a better result in future, and still be competitive.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Is there any part that Mr. Nuristani still you have doubts?
No, I didn't have any doubts, sir, but something was not clear. And if I have a suggestion, sir, do you have any the full details note of this research methodology, sir? Because it's very important.
There are so many.
Yes, you can send it to us through email, sir, because it's very important. We cannot use it online as well, but we can use it in a offline as well, sir, for research methodology in our office or something like that, sir.
So you mean you want another additional, for example, backup for what the whole research was today all about?
Yes, sir. Like the whole design of the research, like how we, like you said that the research approaches, we have different research approaches, right, sir? Those additional explanations, sir, or materials, sir, if you have, you could please send us to our email, sir.
Okay, no problem, Mr. Nuristani. As a matter of fact, you see, about research methodology, there are books and there are a lot of material. But you see, research methodology is a huge ocean. You see, it's not a small area. But what I do is, so if like the right book, for example, source would be a absolute, for example, Omar Sekaran. I can give you some references to go and get the online books and so on. But I can provide you some, for example, additional chapters, maybe from other sources that I have, or classes that I'm teaching. Yes, and I can send it to your email. No problem.
That would do, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thank you so much for your question. Okay. Is there anybody else who has any question like Mr. Nuristani? I will be happy to answer. Any question? Miss Vida Sami said research problem is research question. Yes, out of research problem we can come up with our objectives and research questions. Exactly. So you first of all say what is the problem, and out of problem what are the objectives that you're trying to do to be able to respond to or try to fill up that problem or that gap, and then research questions are coming right after that objectives. So you can create your hypothesis over those research questions as well. Mr. Nuristani said, oh, okay. No, Mr. Nuristani. This class is all about discussion, so I really appreciate whoever who's asking question, who's interested in more information, and so I don't really think that anybody mind you asking extra questions and so on. But and this is the fact. Actually, I encourage questions like this because it can help you to have more. You see, the questions that you have. It was a very general question, but still I try to make it as much as possible, summarize and concise and tell you. Actually, as a matter of fact, research methodology by itself is one of those courses that as one semester you go through that and you reach different parts and still you cannot cover all. There are lots of books about that. One of the most famous books about research methodology that has been used by different excellencies as well as researchers all around the world is research methodology by Omar Sekaran. Okay, this is a English version. I think you can find even online ebook. I'm not sure. I don't have it, but maybe you can do some research. Maybe you can. But the book, the normal printed version is available. I think it's one of the most common sources. IQ research methodology has been written by so many different writers and authors, different researchers. So, but at the end of the day, it's a huge area because we are talking about the whole possible way for the research to be done, from non-parametric to parametric, from any possible aspect that a research can be done. So that's why it's a huge thing. I really try my best to see if I can find another chapter like the same chapter that you have here, but more in detail about marketing research, and I do my best to be able to send it before the next session that you have, and just to give you extra information. Okay, just give me a second for getting the right spelling of the name, and then I will write it for you. Yes, I just got it. Okay. Okay, actually I can give you the link now, which is a nice link. Let me give you the link over the Amazon.com so you can see the book. It has different version. It has the normal version. It has the, let me just put the link here. Okay, this is the link. Please go through this. You will see this link that I can see here. It's about the research methods for business, but this research method for managers. You see, this Omar Sekaran wrote so many different books. The most recent one is 2006 or 7, if I don't make a mistake. Maybe the more recent than that. But you can see 1984 was 1984 is the first version that they have it here available. 1986 another one. 1999. You can find much more recent one, and you can see she tried to basically come up with different customized version of this research methodology. So, for example, she has one just for business, a skill building approach. You see, we have dual carrier families again by that. Research method for managers, a skill building approach again. Wiley series in management. So there are different books, but this is the right name. You maybe search and see whether you can get the information that you're looking for. Any other questions? So Sahab, did you get the name? Okay. So let's keep going, and we already talked about all of these primary research steps. Let's talk about online research, because we're talking about electronic marketing, so definitely online research is going to be the way that we're going to collect the data, because the nature of the business by itself needs us to do an online data gathering and all of the analysis through the internet. There are definitely some advantages and disadvantages. Advantages of doing online research is can be fast and inexpensive. It's just because everybody voluntarily coming to the website, they're using your services for any reason, so they don't mind giving some information. So it's much easier and faster and not really expensive because there is no cost. You don't really need to pay them. Surveys may reduce data entry errors as well. The reason that the fact that it's online, there are most of errors that may happen through the traditional data collection may not happen here, just simply because the format is a standard and they can all go through the same thing. If they don't properly, for example, choose the items, it may not go to the next level. And all of those things can give you a better chance of getting the most corrected or unbiased data. Respondent may answer more honestly and openly. The fact that you are unknown, you don't see them, there is no basically fear factor of basically shyness or anything. and they know they're going to be remain unknown. All of those things give a better basically self-confidence to them that nothing is going to happen to them just because they're responding to this questionnaire or anything online. So you will have a much authentic answers. Disadvantages are, okay, the first one will be sample representativeness. You see, sometimes you see if it's online, you don't really know who's coming and who is filling up. Sometimes you may have a minority visiting your website, or a minority answering to a thing, and as such you don't know who's that person who's responding. You don't really can control that. So sample representativeness may have problems. So you may have, like, for example, just imagine, because you are a special website that's giving some professional, provide some professional specialized services, there's some type of people that they can come and use your website. It means you are already made your research bias, because not everybody outside can access through this, for example, survey. So that will be one of the issues. Measurement, validity and reliability are two most common concerns. Besides normality of data in any of data collection and questionnaires, and basically the information that you're going to collect through that, the fact that, first of all, whether your questionnaire or your tool or your survey is measuring what it was supposed to measure, and on the other side, can the answer, basically result, be repeated again and again in different circumstances. They are actually representing reliability and validity. They are both important. Respondent authenticity is also another issue. The fact that by themselves, we may have some fake characteristics. By the way that they're human beings coming there, but they can be fake characteristics. And you think that they are, for example, male, but they are female. You think that they are, for example, 25 years old, but they are 45 years old, because there is no line matching there. So they can just put whatever information they want. And researchers are using online panel to combat sampling and response problems. This is how they can just kind of make sure that the right type of people, the right sample is going to go there, as well as these problems that I just explained for you, from validity to reliability to normality to sample representativeness, as well as authenticity, is going to be solved. So as you can see, online research is going to give some advantages to marketing practitioners, some disadvantages as well. So it's not like we're going to get the best thing. So still we have some problems there, but it's still the fact that they're really inexpensive and much faster make them really popular nowadays. Okay, and companies, they don't really mind going through that. The simple reason is this inexpensiveness and being very prompt is going to make it very convenient for them. Other technologies that enable basically enabled approaches that they have for data collection can be client-side data collection through cookies, or use PC meters with panel of users to track the user, click the stream, and so on. There are some basically IT-based apps that when you go through the website, they can trace you back and they get your information and use it for marketing purposes. Sometimes the websites are giving you this warning, sometimes they don't. So there is an issue of whether these type of cookies are ethical or unethical, and the controversy behind that has been center of attention for a long time. You have this server-side data collection as well, the information that you can get through the servers, data log softwares. They are all different IT detailed things. For you, the most important thing is just knowing how many different type of collection we have. Like how detailed and specialized they're going to be, that is not really the marketing aspect of that. But this is how really information technology can aid the marketers to get the information, whether voluntarily or indirectly from customers, and use them. Real-time profiling that we were just talking track users' movement through website, through their IP, through their basically any specification that they can trace through internet. All of them are also nowadays very, very common. And these are different other methods that they use to be able to collect the information. For example, these customers that we have now, how many other websites he has been visiting the same day with the same IP and so on. Real estate data collection, storage, analysis. More information about that will be offline data collection may be combined with online data. Nowadays, there are companies that try to have both approaches, not only collecting data online, they're still using their own information system or database information system that customers are buying their products offline and getting those information beside this and try to get the best out of both sides. Transaction processes, database move data from other database to data warehouse. The fact I just explained, this is membership cards that you go and you use before any of your purchase in retailing department stores or any branded shop, and the fact that they ask you before any transaction whether do you have any member card or not. It's all about this purposes to get you your information perfectly basically saved and then use it in future. Because you see, they can simply see what are the items that they are going to be sold, but it will be much better to know who is buying them. So how they're going to get that information through that member card that I was telling them. Okay. Sometimes nowadays they're giving you more motivation or stimulating you to more to apply for this membership. Sometimes they give you extra discount, or they tell you that you can collect points, and with these points you can receive free coupon or vouchers and so on, and vouchers and so on. And these vouchers is going to help you to get better discount or sometimes free gifts and so on. All there are different ways to basically encourage customers to apply for those memberships. And as you can see, sometimes they sell even, for example, birthday cards or any other things to your mailbox and so on, or through your online thing and your email, just for saying that they appreciate the fact that you are their customers and they have your information. So they give you congratulations messages whenever it's necessary and so on. So all of these things, this is for the purpose of getting you to use that member card again and again. Data collected can be analyzed to help make marketing decisions. Definitely, we see just simply, I explained for you before this, but again, I can give you another example. Just imagine you're a company that is selling furniture, and you want to see last year how many of different items were sold and what type of people bought what type of, for example, products. You can simply see based on your member card and so on that you give to your customers, you can see most of young adults that they just got married, or those that they are, for example, in early 30s or late 20s, that they just got married, they usually come for furnitures like, for example, dining table as well as kitchen cabinet and so on. And there are other, for example, members that they have older age and they are buying, for example, more, for example, plates and or maybe things like electronic appliances or anything else, or any different type of, for example, furniture. For example, some type of new sofa, comfortable sofa, or anything like that. And based on this information and the number of people that you have in different age range or basically geographical range and so on, you can order your inventory, or you can produce proper amount of number of inventory that you need, simply because you know what was your pattern last year, for example, or what was your pattern for last 10 years. You can use different type of forecasting methods just from this information that you have. The data mining is nowadays one of the main majors under the IT, how you can use all of this information available online and transform them to information that you are, the data that you are online, and transform them to meaningful information. That is data mining. Customer profiling, the one that I just told you, is membership, subscriptions, and so on. Recency, frequency, and monetary RFM analysis, like how recent you, for example, this customer, how recent they are visiting your website. Did they visit you today? Did they visit you last week, last month, last year? How many times they visited? If they came, how many times they purchased? Okay, how much they spend? This is monetary part. All of these analysis can be helpful, and then at the end you have to report, generate different type of reports, and use those reports to decide about what's going to come next for your marketing. For example, you find that you need to maneuver on, for example, new area because the information is giving you this basically direction that maybe these people have to be focused more. So in your marketing, new marketing plan, you have to consider them again. And that's all about it. This is the last chapter of today. So please let me know if you have any questions. I'm all ears now. So as it says, no questions. How about the rest? If you have any questions, please ask. I can see some new names in the class like Miss Lida Akbari or I have Mr. Asif, I have Mr. Harun, Mr. Aryan. I've seen him last session in. I think we had this gentleman before. Nasir, Mr. Nasir Ahmed Samuel or Samuel, I am not sure whether. So any of you gentlemen or ladies, if you have any questions, please ask. Isida Sani, Sir Muhammad, yeah, Sir Mustafa. If there is any question, please ask. Okay, I hope that you enjoy today's lecture. I hope that the explanations were enough and sound and clear, and it could help you to learn more about the whole knowledge management and usage of data by different marketing practitioners. So as I can see, there is no more questions. If not, let's call it a day. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. And okay, as you know, in Malaysia tomorrow is going to be Ramadan, so happy Ramadan to all of you. As well as we have everybody in the class Muslim, so happy Ramadan to all of you. I hope that your prayers and your fasting during this holy month is going to be accepted by great Allah. Thank you all. Have a great night. See you next week.